Hi, my name is Rabbi Yoni Katz. I live here in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, with my wife and 7 children. And on a daily basis, I get to show people around this beautiful neighborhood, Hasidic Brooklyn. You see, 10 years ago, the face of Brooklyn began to change. You had people here with beards, not for Hasidic purposes. They're what we call hipsters. Caused a little bit of tension, to be honest, when you have two very different cultures living so close together. So being a young, idealistic rabbi, I decided I'm gonna attack this head on. I decided to make a campaign and I called it Unite the Beards. Hasid and hipster, not as different as you think. Well, when you think Hasidic Brooklyn, you typically think reclusive, isolated, closed off, mysterious to the outside world. If you're gonna have very separate communities, especially living so close to each other, you're not gonna have a unified world. You're gonna have a very divided world, especially here in Brooklyn. Every few blocks is a whole different culture, and I put it up on Airbnb and it really took off. And people from all around the world started booking this Airbnb experience, it's called, and 90% of this tour is behind closed doors. I'm gonna show you around the neighborhood, take you to places that are usually not so open to anyone who just walks off the street, but you're hanging with me. Welcome to Brooklyn, to Crown Heights. You're hanging with Hasidics. I want to go to the synagogue first. The most famous synagogue in the world, 770 Eastern Parkway, the headquarters of the Chabad Lubavitch worldwide movement. Anyways, for a neighbor that speaks about the coming and the anticipation of the coming of Messiah, what we call Mashiach, listen to the name of the neighborhood, Crown Heights. Is that amazing? King Messiah, Crown Heights.
Mashiach, now, how are you doing?
This is my friend.
This is my friend, Rabbi Katz. We're here at the Lubavitch World Headquarters on the holiday of Sukkot. We have the 4 species here. You want to look at my esrog, it's one of the most beautiful ones in town. Why? Because it's most used. You see, it's brown over here, that means it's used. The more people that make a blessing on it, the more special it is. So here we got this lulav. It's called a lulav. I'm not sure how it's called in English.
Palm branch.
Palm branch. It grows on top of the palm trees. Then we have these hadassim. And in between over here we got the harava. What is it?
Willow.
The willow branch.
You hear that noise? It's a circumcision. Now we're going into the headquarters of the worldwide Chabad Lubavitch movement, 770 Eastern Parkway. Okay. So this is where I studied and I got my rabbinical ordination. I sat here for 2 years studying 5 parts of Jewish law. I studied on these very benches. We called it bench pressing. That was for you. When the movement came here, you could literally fit the whole movement almost into this tiny room. You had the remnants coming from Russia. So the movement came here in 1940. They were in Warsaw, Poland. Eventually they made their way to Riga, Latvia, to Sweden, and they came on one of the last boats to get out. They came to the shores of the United States in 1940. They came to New York and they said, ask the rabbi, where do you want to move to? Where do you want to relocate to? He said, I want to come to Crown Heights. You can see the boys learning, shuckling. That's called shuckling. Hasidic is actually from the Hebrew word of chesed, of kindness. Like I was saying before, that we don't serve God out of the kindness that it does for us. We serve God out of the kindness that it does for God, not as our ticket to heaven. That's at the root of the Hasidic philosophy. So Hasidic is from the Hebrew word of chesed, which means kindness. So follow me down these stairs. A whole new world is going to open up. And here we go. Right now we're in the main sanctuary of 770. This is where I take people when they come on the tours. And as you can see, it's yeshiva students, rabbis, learning, praying as far as the eye can see. This is a massive synagogue. As I said, by all accounts, I think this is the most famous synagogue in the world today. Simply known by its address, 770 Eastern Parkway. Look at this. Jewish life is alive. Jewish pride. Jewish identity. If you came to Crown Heights decades ago, people would have thought this was impossible. Amazing. Follow me. This is my friend Zelig. A young rabbinical student. We expect big things from you, Zelig. This again is the bima where the Torah scroll is read. This is a dear friend of mine, Rabbi Katzman. He wants to know why only in Crown Heights is the only place that will offer a tour like Rabbi Epstein did, that allows outsiders, Jews and non-Jews alike, to come inside the heart of their neighborhood.
Why do the people from Crown Heights do all kinds of wacky things? I mean, you find us in India and in China and in Siberia and in the North Pole. And I don't know, lately they haven't been flying shuttles to the moon, so nobody knows if we're there or not. A Hasidic Jew from Crown Heights has one mission, and that is to bring Mashiach, which means to bring salvation and bring God's light to the world. You gotta go out, you gotta reach out, you have something good, you gotta share it with everybody.
Look at those kids on the pole. It's not gym time here. We're approaching the Ark, what we call the Aron Kodesh, where they keep the Torah scrolls that they pray from on Sabbath and a little bit on Mondays and Thursdays. We have someone shaking the palm branch here. And the citron fruit, the one that we learned about outside from our friend. It's customary when you come by the Ark, you would kiss it to acknowledge it, the holiness, the sanctity. God is alive and well in Crown Heights. And from here, it expands throughout the world. Even places like Pittsburgh, right? Have you ever seen a place like this? It's amazing, huh? Throughout the day, you can catch prayer services, morning, afternoon, and evening, starting almost every 15 minutes. I live 5 minutes from your restaurant. I'm doing summer. Check this out. I'm missing the prayer belt called the gartel. When all else fails.
Why not? Good. You are atheist?
Let's get some of the sunlight. It's estimated that there are 20,000 Hasidic Jews living in this neighborhood, and it's a great place to live. But this time of the year, you have groups, Hasidic groups from all parts of Brooklyn, visiting because of the holidays. I just wanted to take you inside. This is a special tent that's set up for the holiday time because there's no room left in the main synagogue. As big as that room was, it's still not large enough to facilitate the amount of overflowing crowds that we have. You know where Gold is Green is? That rabbi's from Gold is Green. Yeah, here, this is the temporary hut that we eat in for 7 days. It represents when the Jewish people were leaving Egypt, God escorted them out in clouds of glory. So to remind us of the clouds of glory and how they were protected and saved from the elements, we built a temporary dwelling and we eat in it all our meals. This place is just amazing. You can come out at any time, any hour during the day and night and get into a good Hasidic philosophy discussion. Hear some good Jewish Hasidic music. This place never sleeps. I'm sure you heard of New York never sleeps. Crown Heights definitely never sleeps. What time it wakes up is a different story. You could get some kosher sushi at Nori Bar, or the world famous Gumbo's Haimisha or Hamisha Bakery. This is where I take my tours. This is why every tour that comes, they get to come in to Gumbo's Bakery and they get a rugelach. Look at the amazing challah. And they come out happy and fulfilled. This is my friend Yehuda Chaskelovich.
I didn't want to interrupt.
The rabbi with the skateboard. Look at that.
And the best way when my kapata goes out, it's like Superman.
And here we are during this month of the Jewish holidays, the month of Tishrei, as we call it, is a destination for Jewish people from around the world, from Israel, from France. So where do they all come to? 1349 President, the Rubashkin home, my very own cousin. They love it. You see that? They love it. Follow me deep. You're not afraid, right? God is with us. So this is my wife Rivki, and these are some of our children. We're at my brother-in-law's sukkah. So this sukkah, as you can see by the bamboo ceiling, is a very temporary hut, temporary dwelling for the festival. We try to do as much as we can in the sukkah. And this is Shayna, as a father of 7, not only you're a father, but you're a walking jungle gym. Look at this. She's doing calisthenics. This is my baby. He's number 7. His name's Menachem Mendel. 8 days after a baby's born, they have to have a circumcision. So his circumcision fell out on April 15th. Of course, we had a massive tour book that day, 50 people from a Reformed Jewish synagogue in Philadelphia. What's a tour guide to do? I was in a bind, sort of like Isaac back in the day. So what we did is we naturally invited them. It was one of the stops on the tour. We had 50 guests at the circumcision. We're not here to serve a selfish purpose, but rather a selfless purpose. How can we best all serve God in the best way possible, in a united way? Not just Jewish people, but non-Jewish people. All religions are meant here to serve God in a unified community. The world is one big community, one word. And I'm going to stop there because... Hey, this is Yankele, mein Teiere, mein Guter und mein Süß.